Child-friendly panchayat, child-friendly gram panchayats. What exactly is that?
How does child-friendly Gram Panchayat make this possible? Children constitute 1/3 of our population, so they have to be there. Second is they bring with themselves unique insights and perspectives that can actually enrich the decision-making process.
How children have changed over the years and how has your understanding of child has changed?
Today, they care about each other, they identify those problems, and they are able to raise these problems in an adult platform, which is a Gram Panchayat and a Gram Sabha.
And most importantly, Shafqat, it is not tokenistic. I see the question that the girls are raising about child marriage, about providing them the best MHM facility. How do you see this whole process happening and how did this happen?
Today's panchayats know that it's not about building a road or a drainage system, but it's actually about investing in women and children. That is going to give them rewards and awards and highlight their performance at the topmost level.
At UNICEF, we strongly feel that children should be at the center of governance, be it in their family, their society, their community, and at the country level. Any policy framework, anything that concerns them should take into account their views, their thoughts, and their rights. How does child-friendly Gram Panchayat make this possible? I have today with me Shafqat. Shafqat is the social policy specialist at UNICEF. He will explain to us child-friendly governance, the need for that, child-friendly Gram Panchayats, the role of Sarpanch, the role of government in making sure every child's rights, their voices find a place on the policy implementation. Thanks a lot, Shafqat, for joining us. First, congratulations for this wonderful initiative. Tell us, first I begin with, why should children be at the center of any decision-making process? Why does UNICEF strongly feel about it?
Yeah, thank you, Idhries. I think for two reasons. One is children constitute 1/3 of our population, so they have to be there. Second is they bring with themselves unique insights and perspectives that can actually enrich the decision-making process, make it more pro-people and pro-poor. And more importantly, I think what we are doing in the process is also learning from children. And that makes governance process really elevate the entire process to the next level.
I visited many Bal Panchayat yesterday, day before in Tonk, in Jahota. I see girls so confident about their rights. They ending child marriage. I see strong Gram Panchayats. I see stronger Bal Panchayats. I see stronger Sarpanch. Their understanding of child rights has improved. How do you see how children have changed over the years and how has your understanding of child has changed?
I would say significantly. For one, I think what this process has done ever since we started in 2019, there is a trust that the adults have on children and their capacities to do wonders. So what we see today is governments, right from the national level to the government at the Gram Panchayat level, creating those space and opportunity for children to come and raise their voices. Now, by doing so, children have become much more confident. They today have learned the skills to work as a team. They've also identified that it is not only them who are privileged, but they should also be reaching out to children who are underprivileged, which could be there in their panchayats. They could be living in Ladhani, in a very remote settlement, belong to a certain socio-economic characteristics. This worldview of children has changed significantly. And today they care about each other, they identify those problems, and they are able to raise these problems in an adult platform, which is a Gram Panchayat and a Gram Sabha. That is a remarkable journey. And I think in this process, children would have developed critical thinking skills, they have developed leadership qualities, they have learned public speaking. All these qualities and really make into fine adults when they get in that space.
And most importantly, Shafqat, it is not tokenistic. And that is the most important thing because I am not seeing children saying things for the sake of it. The questions that in the Bal Sabhas the children asked are very tough and Sarpanch had to really be at his best to answer them. And there were questions about roads, about tameness, about playgrounds. And these are questions he had answered and the others answered him very well. So I see that not only here, I went to, as I said, I went to Tong. I see the question that the girls are raising about child marriage, about providing them the best MHM facility. These are real questions, not tokenistic. You must be very glad to see the change in these years. How do you see this whole process happening and how did this happen?
So children always had this in them. I think what was missing was adults' trust and creating these kind of platforms, giving the kind of opportunity that children need.
Yeah.
So today they understand that this is something which is their right. It is something where they have to do if they want better future for themselves. I think that has been a game changer. And the trust of governments, right from the national level to the Gram Panchayat level, has been phenomenal. I mean, few years back, who would have thought that we will have a goal in itself, which is child-friendly panchayat? Today, we have that as a mandate from the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and it is flowing right up to the bottom, where every Sarpanch has also adopted and prioritized Sankalp 3, it is child-friendly panchayat. Today's panchayats know that it's not about building a road or a drainage system, but it's actually about investing in women and children. That is going to give them rewards and awards and highlight their performance at the topmost level. So I think that has been one major thing. Second is government's investment on capacity building of children by way of forming them into Bal Panchayats and creating a mechanism of ongoing and regular mentoring, which in case of Rajasthan is being done by Sathins. And other states also, they have this person called Bal Mitra who is working with children. So that has been a really game changer.
Yeah. And talking about government, you said we also met the secretaries and they also know this program inside out. How has UNICEF worked with the government? And you talked about 2019 when it started, and we had some slow years in the beginning. But how did UNICEF convince and work together with the government to take this program along and it be the way it is now?
I think one thing we were clear from day one that what we are going to do is not going to be a project. It will work with the government. It has to be eventually become the very fabric of the governance in Rajasthan. So therefore, the first time also that when we took this step forward, it was a model co-created with the government, with the Panchayati Raj. It was launched together with them. And we were lucky that at that point of time, there was a deputy chief minister who decided that let's not pilot anything. Let's just do it at scale. And I think that got the government buying like anything. And we have actually been extremely lucky that despite frequent transfers in Rajasthan, every new person has taken this to their heart and taken this on a mission mode that this is something that has to happen. And in fact, what is very, very heartening to notice, they're actually looking forward to this feedback coming from children. And they're incorporating this feedback in the work that they do, in the programs that they design, in the policies they formulate.
Yeah. Now the question that we at UNICEF are very interested in is how did UNICEF go about it? How did you work with the government? What sort of support you're providing, technical support primarily? And how do you work also at the ground level? How do you get everything together for this program to run successfully with, of course, the government of Rajasthan?
I think we worked on two fronts. The first, of course, was a technical support to government, where first we helped them conceptualize this model, helped them develop guidelines, circulars, orders that are needed. Also invested in building capacities of right set of stakeholders, so the training institutions, the block development officers, the CEOs, and the state level team. Second, at the same time, we realized it's important also to create some demonstration sites. And that's where we collaborated with organizations like Aravali, Manjari Sansan, and few others, where some were financially supported partnership, but many were largely knowledge partnerships. These were the organizations that already had a good presence on the ground, and they had been working with children. We gave them just a way to work in a manner where they can bring children in a collective format, help them articulate themselves better, engage with the Panchayati Raj system. And I think to a certain extent, we benefited from enabling policy environment even at the national level. There was a newly constituted Child-Friendly Panchayat Award that worked in our favor, that got Sarpanchs excited and interested. But most importantly, we were able to gate crash in the training programs of the government. So every training program that was happening, irrespective of the subject, it had Child-Friendly Panchayat as a mandatory session. And that message has really percolated to all levels.
Yeah. Now, a question, Shafqat, personally, because you have been working in the state for many years. And how do you see the change in children personally? How they're using the platform of Bal Panchayats to talk about child marriage? I also saw very solid stories of girls, again associated with Panchayat. Close to 100 girls are back to school. They also talk about the topic we really talk about, the MHN, menstruation periods, now openly being discussed and then the taboos going. I felt very emotional. How do you see the change that you were part of in bringing in with all the stakeholders?
Rajasthan, as you know, is not an easy state. when it comes to the very social fabric that exists here. So very deep, strongly entrenched customs, traditions, and norms. And I think in that environment for children to come this far is extremely gratifying.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would thank children that they were able to, take this and run with this whole idea. Because when we started working, we could see, the children have that spark that something is stopping them.
Yeah.
And what has really happened as part of this process, we made it everybody's business. So when the children saw that there is an environment in which they can speak and that to speak freely, they did just that. And today we see, children not just bring about a change in their own lives, but also impacting change in other children's life. So the peer interaction has grown significantly with this initiative.
And for me, Shafqat, honestly, knowing social policy, this program is very complex, looks complex, but when you go on ground, it's not that difficult. It is very simple how UNICEF is making sure that children's voices are heard, they are put at the center. And it has been a great learning from me personally. And thank you for the work you're doing. And I just pray and hope this continues and this becomes bigger than what it is. What is your vision for this program? The vision for and also the government of Rajasthan, and also if you can talk about nationally, how do you see this initiative growing in the years to come?
Thank you. See, I personally feel social policy is a way of working in UNICEF. It's not a program, it's not a section. It's just a way of looking at things, approaching them in a manner that it becomes everybody's business. It gets entrenched and embedded in government's policy framework,
Yeah.
and then flows through the systems of the government and systems of the people of the community. That is what my vision would be, that, today we are talking about child-friendly Panchayat. Tomorrow we should be talking about child-friendly Rajasthan,
Yeah.
and then child-friendly India. So it's about placing children at the center of everything that we do, not just in UNICEF, but also in government and also in local self-government and at the community level. If we create villages and communities safer for children, we're creating communities which are actually enabling for everyone. So investing in children by everyone is what I visualize.
And as children say, nothing for us without us. And thank you, Shafqat, and thank you everyone for joining us. And we join you soon for another episode of UNICEF Talks. And thanks a lot.